Hello everybody, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. 1118, our solve count. Where on earth are we? What progress is there to be had? It's a fantastic question. We're in difference. Oh yeah, okay. We can make a difference. But not you. You scare me. 6, 7, 6, 6. 5, but I've clearly looked at it. 7, lots of big stuff. All right, let's do this 5 if we can. Max 4, size separation. Neighboring regions must have different areas and the difference arrows. Okay, so things we know. On a max 4 with a difference of 3, this has to be a 1-4 pair. We don't know which way around it goes, but it's a 1-4 pair. How straight was that 1? This is also a 1-4 pair. This is a 1-4 pair. And this is a 1-4 pair. Okay, well, that tells me if this is a 1-4 pair... no. I was going to say if it's a 1-4 pair, a 4 would have to be a 3, and a 3 can't fit in this gap. But if it's the 1 on this side, it could go 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2 would fit here. If it was 4, go 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 doesn't fit here. Yeah, does that work out? Does that resolve? If this is a 1 and a 4, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 and 2 make that. Then the 4 gets out to here. The 4 gets out to here. If this is 4 minus 2, this is a 2. That looks okay. Let's just see what happens if we do it as a 4-1. And this is a 1-4 pair. The 4 minus 1 is a 3. 3 doesn't fit in this gap. We have a start, I believe. 1, 4. 1 and 1 is 2. 2, 4, 4, 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. We can put that in a box. We can put that in a box. That's going to be the 4, because the 4 can't come down to this 3. If this is going to go 4 minus 3 is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3. That means that 4 minus 2 is 2. This is 3 plus or minus 1. Means this is a 2 or a 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. That gets a box around it. 3 has to come out. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 plus or minus 1 is a 1-3. Which means this could go to here as the 3. We don't know yet. Could go to there, possibly. Which means that technically this could still be the 4, because it could go 2, 2, and the 4 going out like that. Except it can't, because it can't be a 4 with a 1 difference to a 1. Therefore, I believe that means this has to be the 1, this has to be the 4. Technically, that can be a 1 on its own. Nope, size separation. Huzzah. Well, that means this 2 has to go that way, because it can't come up and touch this 2. So that's nice to be reminded of that coming into play when it hasn't so far impacted any part of the solve. That means this is a 3. Because 4 minus 1 is 3, and it's touching a 1 and a 2 and a 2. So that's a 3. This can't be 3 minus 1 is 2. That means this is 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. They can't be neighboring regions of 4 because of size separation, therefore that must take this. This 4 can't go here because we can't do 4 minus 2 is 1, 3. So that gets a line. This is going very nicely. I'm having a great time. I also like when, this sounds so stupid, when we have all this kind of, the 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 goes over here, gives me lots to say as I'm doing it, which like makes me feel like I'm not adding lots of silence, which there's always part of my brain that's worried that I'm not talking enough during videos, which I'm probably talking too much, especially at this point. Where do we go next? Okay, this can't be a 3, unless it takes this. It can't be a different 3. There's not much up here that we can work with. Well, there is. This 4, if it goes down, this 2 has to go over, then this can't be a 2. And it can't be 2 1s. Therefore, this 4 goes to the left. That's something. Therefore, this 2 can't go to the left, because if it did, the same thing would be true here. We'd either have 2 and 2, or 1 and 1. Therefore, this 2 goes up. And if this 4 went left, this would be 2 and 2 next to each other, so that's a 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. That gets a box around it. Therefore, well, there could be a 1 here, or this could be bigger than a 1. It's going to be impacted by what we can get out of this space. But if this was a 4, we'd have to do this, can't do that, would have to do that, can't do that. So this is the 1, this is the 4. 1 plus 2 is 3. Therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 plus or minus 1 is a 1, 3. The 2 has to stretch over. This is a 1. I don't like that. I do not like that, because that 3 leaves a 1 there, and that 3 leaves a 1 there, so I've gone wrong somewhere. That's no fun. So this 4 had to come over. That 2 had to come down. We can't do that as a 4 and that as a 4, because then we'd have 4s that touch. If this was a 3 and a 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, that can't be. Are you telling me a bunch of this could be wrong? Oh, gross. Do you see it? I think I see it. 3 plus 1 is 4. No, I was looking at this one. It's a 3 minus 2 is 1, because it can't be 3 plus 2 is 5. Forget that thought process. I thought it was going to be this 4 and this 4 with a 1 in between them, but that's just absolutely not how that goes. Alright, take me over here. We'll see if we can work clockwise to that section and get any insight. Well, I don't have much to work with here. If this is a 1, this is a 3. That would be a 3. This would be a 2 or a 4. that was 3 plus 1 is 4. Because it can't go. It could go that way as a 2. 3 plus 1 is 4. But I'm just guessing now. I shouldn't. Can I really not resolve this corner? This is a 1-4 pair. This cannot be 4. So this is a 1. This is a 4. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1. Can't do a 1 there. Can't do a 1 there. I really can't resolve that. I can't do 2 and a 1. I can't do 2 and a 1. Can't do 3 and a 1. I must have made a mistake somewhere up here. Which feels icky because it was so clean up to this moment. Alright, let's take some of this back. How do we feel about that? Okay, I made a mistake somewhere around here. Well, this is a 3. 3 plus or minus 1 is a 1-4. No, it's a 2-4. 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. It's 2-4. It can't be a 2, so this is a 4 because it can't touch this 2. 2 minus 2 is... 4 minus 2 is 2. Can't do this, leaving that there, or that there. So that's the 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Can't do this, because they touch. This has to get out, has to touch this. This is a 4 and a 2. Can't do that, leaving this. So that must get a line. I swear I did this earlier and it was apparently wrong. So that has to be a 3. There's no other way we could do a 1 and a 2 that doesn't have something touch the 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. Maybe I went wrong with where I stretched this 4 out. Maybe I could do this. And then this would be a what? A 1-4? 1, 3. Then the 3 can reach over like that. I guess I didn't see this move as being a 1 here. There's the 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 plus or minus 1 is a 1, 3. 2 has to get out. Then we're out of obvious stuff. Where can we go? Well, this tile here is already touching a 4 and is already touching a 3 and a 1. So this tile has to be a 2, which means that has to go to there. So a 1 and a 3 sandwich between 2s and 4s either would be viable. This is a 1, 2, or a 3 because it can't be a 4 going around that bit of wall. Doesn't really help. if this is a 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, then that 3 would have to come out to here, and we can't have 2 of those. So that does go there. That's a 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. This, I think, has to be a 4, because it can't be touching the 1, it can't be touching the 2. If it gets bigger, it can't be touching the 3. So it's either a 4 that does that and this is a 2, or it's a 4 that does that. 1, 3, 1, 2. This can't be 4 minus 1 is 3 and 1 plus 1 is 2 at the same time. So I think that has to be the 4. That can't be... this has to be a 3. This is 4 minus 1 is 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. Which means this is probably a 1. That's a 3. That's a 1. That's a 4. No. That's a 2. That's a 4. That's a 2. Alright, 1 wafer thin check progress just to get me around whatever was going on here. But I'm not mad about it, as I enjoy my scratchy. Make it all nice and clean. Lovely. Right, I'm going to refill my beverage and then we will pick another puzzle. A lovely and refreshing 2026 vintage of cherry soda. Right, that's a 7. Have you done that one? No, it's just hard to see the red spire coming through. Ooh. Okay. Well, some interesting numbers going on here, because I look at like this being difference of 1, but this blue must get to a red, which means it must be at least 5. But then this would go to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it doesn't get its red. So this is going to be interesting. But we will try. First of all, stuff we know. That must get out. That must get out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of yellow, red, blue. 3 colours. Keep that in mind. Get rid of this. This blue, whether it's attached to this yellow or not, cannot go through this blue. In fact, these blues and these yellows make for some very interesting limitations on what can pass through to the left and right of those kind of barricades. But this blue must come around here. Oh, okay. Is something. These 3s are both touching the same edge. So let's just pretend that this is a 8. 8 minus 3 is 5, or 8 plus 3 is 11, which would make that a 5-11 pair. And that's fine, because the 3 and the 3 are both impacting the same number. However, up here, if this was an 8, and it was an 8 here, but also a 4 here, that would need to be a 4 or a 12, and it can't be an 8 and a 4 and a 12 at the same time. So there is going to be some borderline either here or here to prevent this yellow being in the same region as this piece. Whereas these are all in the same corner regions. Doesn't necessarily that they have to be, but it does mean that this one has to not be. Which means this blue cannot take this yellow, which means this blue must take this yellow because it can't reach any other yellow without going through a blue. And we can't get to any other red without going through this red. So that can't double back on itself because of the line rule. So that's going to get a line there. And this is currently 7 big. It might be bigger than that. So 7 plus question mark. Because it could take this, hypothetically. Could take that, hypothetically. Now, every region must get the roses. So we can't just have an empty 1 here and a 5 here. So this has to take this blue. And I believe if we take this blue, the only red and yellow we can reach without going through a yellow to get to a yellow or a blue to get to a blue or a blue to get to a red, rather, would be this and this. Which was us at 6 and 7 on a difference of 3. I can't make this be 9. Also, now I'm terrified because we have the red region and the green region. The red region is 3 different than the green region. If I bring the red region up, then the red region now has to be 4 different than the green region. And it can't be true that it's 4 different and 3 different at the same time. But this also can't do this. So now I'm getting... well, no. Let's say maybe it's this. But we can't do that and have that be true as well. So now I'm a little stumped because I thought I was on good logic and it feels like my good logic has been slapped in the face. So, shall we review this? Yellow must get out. It touches this blue. This blue must get a yellow. It can't get a yellow without going through another blue unless it's this one. This can't be 0 different and 4 different to this region at the same time. Therefore, this yellow must pick up this blue. And the only red that one can pick up is this. Which means this must pick up this. And then we need a red and a yellow. If it was this yellow, that can't equal that. Because we can't, there's no way, we could make 8 and 8, but then this is just completely balked. But I just don't see... Oh, wait. We can get this red. Or even this red. What was I talking about? Okay, well, that gives us so many more options than I thought we had. So, if this takes this red, then this blue has to take, this red has to take that blue, has to take that yellow. That's 9. 9 minus 2 would be 7. 7 plus 3 would be 10. I can't make those numbers work, I think. Because this can't be smaller than 9 if it gets to a yellow. So I think you're going to take that. This is 6. This is currently 7. This 4-0 thing is a problem. 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9 can't exist where that exists because the 4-0 problem. Could be 9, 6 that way. So 9, 4 makes a 5. And this would have to be a 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't work because this 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 equals 5. Oh, this is so gross. Can't get back on ourselves. If this was one bigger, and we did 7 and 10, 10 minus 4 is 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 minus 2, or 7 plus or minus 2. Yeah, I must remember it's plus or minus. This could be a 6 plus or minus 1 is a 5, 7. 7 plus or minus 2 is a 5, 9. There's only 2 regions left. This blue would have to get this red and this yellow for 8. There's no way that works out. 8 and 8. Oh dear. 6, 7. There is no way that this can be bigger because it can't take both sides of a line. I can't drop that down to 6 without bad repercussions throughout. Is there definitely not another way I can get my shapes here? That stops this blue doing anything. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But this can't be a 6 plus 1 is 7, and a 7 minus 2 plus 2 is 9. I'm guessing this has to be wrong. Yeah. Okay, so it's not this. How far back is my mistake? I have no idea. Honestly. I was just taking anything that even remotely looked like it worked. So this 7 is all I have. I'm confident in this. But after that, who knows? Because it doesn't even have to be a 7. It can be bigger than a 7. So what else do I know for sure? Feels like not a lot. This is equal to this. This is equal to this. Then this can't touch this. Because it goes around the corner. This is 9. 9 minus 4 is 6. And 6, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this slightly different because we shifted this over 1 from what we did previously? I think. Oh, yeah, this doesn't work at all. Because you can't be... yeah, you can't... You'd have to be 10. And that would have to pick that up. This feels like the only way to resolve this to me. Yeah, okay. It is the only way to resolve this. That's good. I will take these. So, 10 minus 3 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. There's no way that's 9, is it? That's 10. Eight plus 2 is 10. 10 minus 2 is 8, so that doesn't work. Also, this doesn't work. Because that's, oh yeah, it's not a 7 anymore. Four, 5, 6, 7. I mean, that has to be true. But we know that doesn't work. Could it be this? I've been neglecting entirely this being a 6, a 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't work. 1, 2, yeah, because I can't go through there and I can't take that without this breaking. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 5, 7 doesn't work. 6, 7, 9 can't work because of 10 minus 3 is 7. Wait, that can work. All right, not my prettiest, but we got there. All right. Another solid half hour. What does that put us at? 47 of 53. Still 6 more to go. Not least this one where... No, not that one. This one where the giant numbers, I just can't seem to plug it in. A similar situation here where you just have to plug in the 3 regions and make all these be true. I remember having troubles with that. And then there's 6, 7, 7, and this guy. This looks like we could probably do another day pretty reasonably for now. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.